So today we're going to be winterizing a 2024 Cherokee Grey Wolf Black Label. This is a 26 dBH. Figured I'd just take a few minutes. I got to get this ready for winter, so thought I'd show you guys what to do in case you have any questions. It took me a while to go around and get little pieces of information on how to do this properly, so thought I'd make a video for you while I was doing it. You're gonna need a couple of things. You're gonna need this adapter that goes into your city water line here. Also some sort of air compressor to power that. And then a couple of gallons of RV Antifreeze. These are mixed brands, but it doesn't matter. I picked these up at Tractor Supply. I don't think I'll need this 3 gallons, but we'll see how many it takes. We did just finish up our last camping trip of the year. I know we're not going to use it anymore this year, so I recommend going ahead and dumping your gray water and your black water into the sewer, and then hook a hose pipe up here. Do not use your drinking water hose, but hook you a hose up here to your black tank flush and go ahead and let that run for a few minutes and get your black tank good and clean. And then right before we left, I knew I was going to be pulling it home, so look for this low point drain. Mine is close to the front of the camper by the hot water heater. And you're going to go up under here and you're going to see a hot and a cold valve. You just open those up, and I left mine open the whole ride home so that it could shake around and drain. I also opened up the sink valves inside the camper so that it wouldn't create a vacuum and all that could drain out on the way home. My camper is also equipped with the Furion tankless water heater. So on the way home, grab this release valve right here and open that up. It makes that loud noise because mine's already attached to air. But if you don't have the air pressurized in the system, it will just drain the water on the way home. So again, this is kind of a debated issue. My tanks were completely clean. I washed them out with the flush and let it run probably for 5 to 10 minutes. So I go ahead and open my gray and my black because any water that is now going into the holding tanks might dilute the antifreeze and, freeze the tanks, the holding tanks. So I go ahead and open these up while I'm purging everything with air to get all the extra water out of the line so it doesn't collect in the tanks. Set your air pressure right around 30 to 40 psi. I kind of lean towards 40 psi as my max. And you're gonna want to make sure your valve is turned on. Let the air flow through. I went ahead and started the furthest point away from the water inlet. So that for me is my hot water heater. So I'll come over here and open this up. Get any extra water. All right, then we're gonna come to kitchen sink. Make sure you do both cold and hot. Get all the water out you can. Also, if you have a cup washer, don't forget to take you a cup and get all that water out as well. Moving on to the bathroom sink, make sure you get all the hot and the cold. Get your toilet. Shower. So if yours has multiple functions like mine, you want to turn each one of them on. Make sure you get all the water out. Good if you have the outdoor kitchen to turn on the hot and cold. And then the outdoor shower. And then last but not least, the low point drains. If you did open these up and let them drain on the way home, make sure you close them before you start this whole process. I feel pretty confident that we've gotten all the air out, so you can go ahead and cut your valve off and then drain the air out. Disconnect your air hose, take out your adapter. So if you ever use your freshwater connector, there is a gate valve. Mine is right here on the passenger side. You'll need to pull that valve. Go ahead and dump any water that may be left in there. At this time, if you did open your gray and black tanks, go ahead and close these off and put your cap back on. This is going to hold any antifreeze that does come out of the sinks that we're about to add, and keep it from leaking out. This will also protect the seals in the gates and also your pipes. So right here in the back, right behind the outdoor shower, if you look behind this little panel, there's a hose. You'll need to grab that. It's got a cap on it. If you look on back where it attaches, you'll see, if I can get it to focus, there's a valve right there that we have to turn on. This is a 12-volt pump. Go ahead and open that valve up. Trouble getting back here, there is a screw right here that you can take out and remove this whole panel. I went ahead and decided to do that. It does take a square bit. It's a lot easier to access this hose and this valve. All right, with your valve open and the cap off, go ahead and put your tube all the way down in the bottom. By the way, that pump is 12-volt DC, so you either need to be connected to shore power or you can hook up to your truck. Then you're gonna come in here and you're gonna find the button right here that says water pump. You're gonna turn that on, you're gonna hear that pump priming. That pump's gonna suck all the way down as much as antifreeze as it can get. And as you can see, it's already taken this all the way down, almost. So what you wanna do is go ahead and put you a new jug of antifreeze in. I don't want this sucking air, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this out and put a brand new gallon in. All right, got the new jug in, hose all the way at the bottom. Let's go start turning on some sinks. Start here at my hot water heater. See, we got plenty of pink antifreeze coming out. Back to the kitchen sink. Make sure you turn it on cold. And then go to hot. Got a good stream. Looks like we are good to go on that sink. Bathroom sink, both hot and cold. May not be necessary, but I like to also do the cup washer just in case. I use a solo cup for that so that I don't get my coffee cups dirty. Come back around and check my level just to make sure that we're not going to get back into air. Like we're good, so let's go back to the bathroom. We'll do the toilet. Just personal preference, but I actually leave the antifreeze on the flapper. It helps protect that seal and make sure that it doesn't get dry during the winter. Go ahead and do your shower. And again, if you have multiple modes, you'll want to do each one to make sure that all the pipes have plenty of antifreeze. Second bottle, we are getting kind of low here. I'm going to take what I had left from the first one and pour it in there. All I've got to do is the outdoor shower and the kitchen, so we should be perfect with 2 gallons. Went ahead and topped that off with the last, and got my hose over in the opposite corner, so I used a cap to tilt my bottle a little bit just to make sure we get all we can. On your hot and cold on your outdoor shower. Don't forget, come over here if you have the outdoor kitchen, turn on your hot and cold here as well. Got antifreeze flowing on both valves, so we're good to go. Also, don't forget to cut this off right here so that all your antifreeze in your hose doesn't drain out all into your compartment. Now this brand does say that it is safe, odorless, and non-staining. We do have a dog, so I will get a water hose and make sure to wash off any that's on the driveway that came out of the outdoor showers and kitchens. Again, that's just my personal preference. Everybody says it's safe and non-toxic, but I'm gonna go ahead and go wash this off my hands, make sure I get everything cleaned up. Also, as you can see, 2 gallons was kind of right on the money. So that looks good. You'll want to pull your hose out. Make sure you put your cap back on and clean up any in here that dripped out. Inside, find your water pump. Go ahead and cut it off. Forget, once you get done and you got your cap back on your hose, go ahead and cut your valve off. There's a lot of back and forth on this in the RV community. I go ahead and take any extra antifreeze that I had left over and go ahead and pour it down the sink, or you can pour it in the toilet. I will take my cap back off and I will ever so slightly crack my gray water valve. As you can see, there's water coming out of it right now. And there's the pink antifreeze. I go ahead and close that, and then I do the same thing with my black. Put your cap back on. That way you know that that is good, and that your gate has a really good, some antifreeze kind of seated around it to make sure there's no water so that that doesn't bust. It also protects your seals. Wrap up any of your outdoor shower or kitchen hoses. Part is completely optional, but I like to just wipe everything up with a paper towel. And they say it's non-staining, but I like to just go ahead and get as much out as I can. I do leave what's in the toilet, but I wipe down the shower and everything just to try and get as much up of that as I can. All right, so we got everything cleaned up. Everything looks good. All the sinks wiped out. Just make sure you sweep your floors good. Make sure you get all the food up, anything like that. Make sure you empty your pantry. Also make sure that your battery has been disconnected, and you know, once you unplug from shore power, your battery's disconnected. And then I also like to prop open my fridge and freezer doors just to let they've been cold, so you're gonna have condensation build up. I like to go ahead and open those up and just leave them open so that air can circulate and you don't get any nasty mold or mildew. I do the same thing for the outdoor fridge. I kind of leave a little crack in it, and just make sure everything's tightened up, and maybe put some bug spray around the floors. Some people like to run bug spray right around the edges just to, you know, catch any spiders, maybe anything like that. So hope this video helps somebody.